What's going on, glorious people? Hope you're having a good day. So if you saw in like that subject or whatever you call it of the video, you obviously know this is about olive oil. But Mike and I have been cooking with olive oil for many, many years. But as it turns out, there's like a million other cool things you can do with olive oil.
So we are gonna show you some recipes, we're gonna show you some hacks, a lot of original cool stuff that you can do with olive oil. But we teamed up with Capitriti, which is awesome because they're pure olive oil. Capitriti is the only brand of olive oil to have both its extra virgin and 100% pure olive oils to have earned the USDA Quality Monitored Program seal.
What's crazy about this too is when Capitriti hit us up and they're like, we'd love you to do a video with our stuff, I started doing some research, and as it turns out, most olive oils that you buy in the stores are not actually pure. They might say pure, they might make you think it based on the packaging, but most of them are not.
There's a lot of shadiness going down in the olive oil business. They're cutting it with all different types of oils, and when you buy an olive oil, you want to be consuming pure olive goodness.
Pure stuff.
So make sure you're looking out for that approval stamp.
And if you guys want to learn more about Capitriti, click the link below. You can go to their website, or you can follow @TasteCapitriti on Facebook, on Instagram. Here we go.
I've been doing a lot of preservation techniques, and this one was new to me, and it worked out so great. It's preserving vegetables in olive oil. It's really simple. All you have to do first is roast your vegetables. So I'm gonna do two different types. I've got cherry tomatoes, which are super sweet when roasted, and eggplant. So just put some oil on a tray, hit it with the veggies, a little bit of oil on top, get some salt on there, throw them in the oven at 450 degrees, roast them off. They are nice and juicy and roasted. Then you're gonna take some jars, and what I like to do is get a little acidity in there. You can use vinegar, but I'm just gonna squeeze in some lemon juice. I like to throw in a little bit of herbage, whatever you have. I'm using some thyme. Pile in those veggies, top it with olive oil. You can squeeze a little lemon juice on top. Cap those off, put them in the fridge, and then those are ready to go. They're gonna be preserved for at least a few weeks in the fridge. You'll know that they're good to go when the olive oil solidifies because the fridge is nice and cool. It's gonna keep them preserved. And you can use them on anything you'll see in a second.
Yeah.
The fire starter, it's a quick little bonus, but we're gonna throw it in because we need to cook some stuff very soon. All you gotta do is take a bowl, put some olive oil in there, and then take a bunch of paper towels and just let them soak up all of that olive oil. You can spray some on top as well. We're spraying olive oil all over the place. Put that oil-soaked paper towel on the grill and then pile on your charcoal on top of that. You got a fire starter. All you got to do is light that thing, and it really holds its flame. That's what's great.
Yeah,
it's
versus
not going
like,
to go out and blow up in a second.
Well, yeah, if you have a paper towel, normally it just melts or burns or whatever that happens to fire real quickly. So the oil sort of lets it kind of cook and do its thing. Which brings us to our next thing. Oiling the grill grate. So if you notice when you cook stuff, have you ever had that time where you cook it and you go to flip it over and everything's stuck on the side and it rips, like, you know, the salmon skin or the veggies get stuck?
Or in our case, we were going to the park and it was the public grills and they were just in bad shape. They were rusty. We needed to do a lot of work, but you can actually make a grill non-stick with oil.
Yeah, so what you do is you take some paper towels or whatever you got, you know, but paper towels are great, and just put some oil on there and then just kind of rub it in. You can do it as it's getting hot, but we did it earlier, and you're kind of like creating a non-stick seasoning. So when it heats up, the oil stays on there, but it stays nice and slippery.
And you can see we went from a rusty old grill to something that looked brand new and beautiful, and it works so well. It works for something as delicate as fish, which is one of the hardest things to cook on the grill.
Which we are not cooking, which brings us to number 4. Number 4 is the spray bottle trick. So a lot of times when people are cooking, you know, you've got the sprays that if you want to do like non-stick spray, but you don't always know what's in there, and there's all kinds of ingredients. What's cool is if you actually take a spray bottle, like a water bottle, pour in some olive oil, and you can just use that as a spray. It's a little bit more of a direct stream, depending on what kind you get, but it's great because it allows you to spray. We were spraying it on the fire. Mike tried to shoot me with it in like a spray fire death match. You can spray really anything you can think of. You can just spray it all over, and it's a great way to get like this precision.
This one is really simple, but it might be my favorite hack for olive oil. What you do is you're gonna roll out your dough in olive oil rather than flour, which is great because there's no mess or just a little bit of oil.
That's the worst part about making bread, just flour everywhere.
So not only do you get no mess, you're basically just oiling your cutting board like we did before, but your bread is gonna get extra crispy because it's got a coating of oil on the entire thing.
And what's great about a lot of people, like they're always freaking out about oil, like I don't want to have too much oil, but olive oil is really good for you. So people drink olive oil.
People are scared of oils. They think that, you know, oils are gonna like clog up their arteries. It's really just the juice of the olive. So if you have fresh olive oil, you're good to go.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
We didn't roll out our bread, but we just, you know, kind of patted it with our fingers. We stretched it out, and then that was ready to go on our non-stick grill, of course. And we threw that on the grill, and oh my goodness, I've never seen whatever we did. It was actually sourdough that I made the night before.
It was so good.
And it was just nice and hot. The grill, the bubbles we got on that thing.
Don't talk about the bubbles. I missed that bread.
So after a few minutes, we flipped it over. It had that crispiness, the bubble skis, and then we took our preserved veggies. You remember those in the beginning? That was instant sauce right there because you take out the tomatoes and you crush them right on the bread.
And the eggplant.
A little bit of the eggplant on there. Grill that up. We grated on some Parmesan, and then once that was nice and crispy, look at the bottom here. So glorious. We took that off the grill, and then we just sprinkled on some basil. And
best pizza ever. But it tastes just like a coal oven grilled pizza. And the fluffiness is insanity. I've never seen bubbles on that level before.
Oh my god, I'm eating that whole thing.
oh my goodness.
And there was some random guy in the park, so we gave him a taste too. He loved it.
Oh my god, look at this.
You a pizza fan?
Yeah, oh my god, I love pizza. Such interesting actually.
Yeah.
Wow, contrast is so nice.
Yeah.
Actually, and this is so tiny. Oh my god.
So crispy.
Yeah. So crispy, and you know what? I don't know what you put on the side, but it's perfect.
So, as it turns out, olive oil is also really great if you get a burn, which unfortunately I did when I was grilling. So I just put a little bit of olive oil on my finger and it made it feel all better, feel real good. Also, if you have a sunburn, you rub some olive oil in. It's really good for your skin. You see a lot of those beauty makeup tutorial women on,
Put
YouTube.
it in your hair. 15 ways to beautify your face with olive oil.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do with it. So putting
olive
it on your
oil
skin is
the
great.
miracle oil.
It's a miracle oil if you need just a little bit. So if you have a burn, that's good. Okay, so this one is crazy, trippy.
Goodness.
I made this, I was the first person to ever make this 7 years ago.
7 years ago?
7 years ago, and as I'm looking online, still no one has done it. I had a recipe, but it just disappeared off the internet. Pesto ice cream.
Oh, God.
Now hold your horses. I know you're about to freak out and click dislike, and if you do, get out of here. But here's the thing, pesto ice cream is insanely delicious.
The first time I tried it, Josh used to, when he made the pesto ice cream for the first time, he used to sample it out to everyone. So many people were scared to eat it, and then you take your first bite and you're like, wait a minute. You're like, you're really trying to figure it out. Is this good?
Yeah.
Can garlic in ice cream be good? But it is incredible.
It is really
I'm not kidding. It is amazing. You have to try this recipe.
First, I'm gonna steep the ingredients. So I take some milk, I take some cream, and in a pan, I add that into a pan. Then I take some basil, a bunch of basil, and I start turning the heat up. Add like a clove or two of crushed garlic, goes right in, and the zest of a lemon. And what you're just doing is you're kind of letting that cook on medium. You don't want it to start really boiling. You just want to cook it on medium.
Fuse the flavors.
Fusing all those flavors. While that's going on, take 2 egg yolks in a bowl, add some sugar, mix them together, and then once the cream mixture is really hot, but not like boiling, you slowly start ladling in some. This is called tempering. You ladle it into the eggs, and you keep mixing it around, ladling in a bit more. That way the eggs don't cook, but they're still there. So once it gets to the point where you've had 4 scoops or so and it's all mixed together, you pour that back in your bowl, then you mix it around. At that point I took out the basil and all this stuff, I kind of strained out that stuff. And then you're just cooking this down and you're making like a
custard.
Yeah, you're making a custard.
A little bit.
And keep doing it until it thickens. You'll know when it's done when you have a wooden spoon and you put your finger in it and it looks like it just goes right through. So once that happens, it's done. And then you just let that chill out. I'm gonna let that chill then chuck it into my ice cream maker and turn it on. Now you're wondering, where's the olive oil? Don't worry, it's coming. So once everything gets chilled in a maker and it starts to come together, and if you don't have this, go online. There's always different ways to do it without the ice cream maker.
Without a maker.
Without a maker. So once that's there, then what you do, once it kind of starts to solidify and gets nice and solid, you can mix in, we're gonna mix in some pine nuts.
Toasted pine nuts.
Toasted pine nuts. Add some salt, a little bit of Parmesan. I know this is crazy. Some Parmesan, that'll add some kind of salt.
And then of course your olive oil. You gotta mix that.
Drizzle in some olive oil, but at this point you just want to kind of fold it together so it looks cool. You get some pine nuts in there, the olive oil color.
God, I want that so bad.
Put it in the freezer, and then it's ready to go. Let it get hard, and then you have pesto ice cream, which you can use as a sweet thing, or you can put it on top of pasta, and like when it melts, it's probably amazing.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we really set the mood for this video. We got this beautiful olive oil candle right here, which is incredible, and all you have to do is get some olive oil and a wick. That is the base of your oil candle, and you're good to go. So it comes with this little metal thing that goes in the bottom of most candles as a stopper. So we took that piece off, cut it down, made sure it was wide enough for the wick to go through. So then we used that as the floating piece to float right on top of the oil. So what you're gonna do first is pour in a little bit of olive oil, and then you gotta go in with your essence. You wanna infuse the aromas into your oil. We're using a little bit of chili, some lemon zest, and some thyme. Put that right in there and then fill the rest up with olive oil. Put in your wick with that little floater metal piece. Let that soak for a few minutes. Let the wick soak up the oil. Then you can light it and you have this beautiful candle that's gonna absorb all of the essence and just give off a beautiful aroma. I'm gonna make many more of these because look at that. That could go
especially if you like the smell
all
of
day.
olive oil.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The next one, this is another little bonus we slipped on in, but this is popcorn garlic bread. That's what we're calling it.
Really?
So take a pan, popcorn garlic bread. So take a pan.
Or just garlic parmesan popcorn.
Popcorn garlic.
Okay. That's how he's gonna sell it to you.
So here's what we're doing. Take a pan with some olive oil and kind of start to get that a little bit hot, and add in some sliced up garlic. And just fry the garlic so it just starts to get golden brown, then take it out before it burns. Take it out quick before it burns. We almost burnt the damn thing. Get it out of there. Now throw in your popcorn kernels and cover it and just let it pop until it's done. I'm the popcorn master. I've done it so there's not one single kernel, maybe one. But what you do is you keep shaking it around until you got like it all popped, right? Now, take it out. You can add some salt into that. Add the garlic chips back in there and toss it together with some Parmesan, and then you have this garlic bread popcorn, or as Mike calls it, Parmesan garlic popcorn, which is not nearly as cool.
All right. Did you know that you could shave with olive oil rather than shaving cream? So if you're running out of shaving cream, or you just want a more natural substitute, take a little bit of that olive oil, rub it on your beautiful skin, and just give it the old shaveroo.
My face is still burning. I'm not even kidding. Final hack, we're celebrating a little bit because we finished the video. It's been a long day, delicious day, so we thought we'd have some beer.
I just finished. Oh God.
Mike made some homemade beer.
Wow, check this out, guys. This is like a Hefeweizen. Oh.
Let a head on there.
That's a lot. But we heard that olive oil actually works as a hangover prevention. So Josh is kind enough to test it out.
So apparently you do like what, a teaspoon or a tablespoon?
Oh, it's more like a tablespoon.
And it tastes good too.
Cheers to olive oil. All right, that is it. Remember guys, Capitrini, this stuff is pure. It is delicious. Hopefully you guys try out one of these recipes. We offered a lot. You got a lot in this video. That's a good bang for the buck. Get in the kitchen, get cooking.
And we'll see you eventually whenever we feel like putting out a new video.